sniper pulls the trigger and then waits not 1 second. 6 full seconds before the bullet even arrives by the time it hits. The battle is already changing. Afghanistan, 2009. The heat is brutal. Dust hangs in the air. Visibility stretches for miles across. Dry valleys and rolling hills. And that's exactly the problem. British patrols weren't fighting enemies in tight streets or dense forests. They were being hunted from extreme distances. Taliban machine. Gunners had figured it out. They positioned themselves beyond 800 meters just outside the effective range of standard British sniper rifles. From there, they could fire freely. While British soldiers couldn't hit back with the same precision, it was like being attacked by an invisible enemy, and every second you stayed pinned down. Your chances of survival dropped. Asterisk, so Britain needed something new. Not a heavy vehicle killing monster rifle. And not a standard infantry sniper weapon either. They needed something in between. That's where the L115A3 sniper rifle came in. At first glance, it looked boring, no aggressive design. No oversized barrel. Nothing that screamed world-class weapon. But that plain-looking rifle was hiding something deadly. Because it fired a powerful round called the .338, Lapua Magnum, and that changed everything. Asterisk. The real magic of the L115A3 wasn't just power, it was balance. This rifle could hit targets well beyond 1,500 meters, be carried by a single soldier, stay accurate in extreme conditions, and remain precise enough for human targets. Not just vehicles in like massive .50 caliber rifles. This weapon didn't give away your position with a massive flash. It didn't slow you down. And it didn't force you to choose between mobility and firepower. It gave British snipers something rare on the battlefield, freedom. Freedom to move. Freedom to hide. Freedom to strike from distances the enemy never expected. But the real test, that came on a battlefield in Helmand province. Asterisk, November 2009. A British patrol is trapped. Machine gun fire is tearing into their position. There's no safe way out. 12 soldiers, pinned down and running out of options. Then one man steps forward, Corporal of Horsecraig, Paris. He positions himself beside a mud wall, raises his rifle, and looks through the scope. What he sees is almost unbelievable. The enemy machine gunners are 2.4 kilometers away. That's over a mile, even for this rifle. That distance pushes the limits. Most snipers wouldn't even attempt the shot, but Harrison doesn't have a choice. If he misses, nothing changes. If he succeeds, he saves lives, so he does something extraordinary. He aims high above the target. Not just a little, but the height of a 40-story building above it. Because at that distance, gravity will drag the bullet down over time. He fires. The shot disappears into the distance, and then he waits. Asterisk 1 second. But the real reason this shot worked was something almost no one noticed at the time. The conditions were perfect. No wind, clear air, stable light, a once-in-a-lifetime moment. Asterisk after several adjustment shots. Harrison locks in. He fires again. 6 seconds later, impact. The first machine gunner drops. The second fighter grabs the weapon instantly, no hesitation. Harrison cycles the bolt. Fires again, another 6 seconds. Second hit. Now the machine gun falls silent. But Harrison doesn't stop. He fires a third shot. So quickly that 2 bullets are in the air at the same time. That third round destroys the weapon itself. Just like that. A deadly ambush is over. 12 British soldiers get to go home. Asterisk, here's what makes this even more shocking. That record-breaking shot wasn't made with a massive anti-material rifle. It wasn't a .50 caliber, beast weighing over 15 kilograms. It was a precision rifle under 7 kilograms. A weapon designed for humans, not vehicles. And yet, it outperformed weapons twice its size. That's like using a scalpel. and outperforming a sledgehammer. Asterisk. But this wasn't just about one incredible shot. This moment proved something much bigger. Modern. Warfare had changed. Distance mattered more than ever, and the side that could strike further, faster, and more accurately, would control the battlefield. The L115A3 gave British forces a critical advantage. They could engage enemies before being targeted, they could shut down threats from extreme range, and they could do it without exposing themselves for years. That advantage made a real difference in Afghanistan. Asterisk, and what happened next? Quietly reshaped sniper warfare around the world. Asterisk, other nations started paying attention because suddenly, the gap between standard rifles and heavy sniper systems didn't make sense anymore. Why carry a massive weapon when a lighter rifle could do almost the same job? Over time, armies began shifting toward intermediate Magnum sniper systems, weapons inspired by the same idea behind the L115A3 in a way. That boring rifle didn't just win battles, it changed doctrine. Asterisk, but for Craig Harrison, it was never about records. He later called the shot a fluke, said he was just doing his job, trying to save his team, because in that moment, there were no statistics, no history books, just a man, a rifle, and 12 lives on the line. Asterisk, the L115A3 doesn't look legendary. It doesn't look intimidating. It doesn't look like a weapon that would rewrite history. But sometimes, the most dangerous tools are the ones you overlook, because on that day in Afghanistan, a quiet rifle proved something powerful. You don't need the biggest weapon on the battlefield, just the one that hits when it matters most.